The regular claims that okay, well, we've paused funding for UNRWA. Unfortunately, Canada sent advance payments and then hit the pause button. But we hear, well, aid needs to get in through other agencies then. And Israel is throttling the aid. Aid can't get through. I can't tell you the number of times I've seen the truck counts, and it's massive. Aid is being delivered, and just like prior to the war, it is often being stolen by Hamas. So we give food, fuel, all these things to the Palestinian people so that they can survive in the war, and Hamas takes them.
You asked me about the challenges of being an Israeli spokesman. Mm-hmm. I go on TV, I present facts. I have the Palestinians, the United Nations, and a whole alphabet soup of human rights organizations calling me a liar. And so the media end up going with the louder, stronger voice. Here are the facts. Israel has placed no restrictions on the amount of food, water, medical equipment, or shelter equipment that can enter the Gaza Strip. We have excess capacity at the Israeli crossings to more than double the amount of aid if countries want to send it. The problem is the UN agencies on the ground are struggling to distribute aid at the pace Israel is facilitating it. That's why the UN has asked us to close the crossing on Saturdays, because they still have to clear the backlog. And the reason is that UNRWA is not an aid agency. Most of its staff are teachers. It doesn't have the experience of doing disaster relief in emergency zones like other UN agencies. It's failing to distribute aid, and it is deflecting blame onto Israel to cover up for its own failure, because the easiest thing in the world is to scapegoat Israel, and it's worse than that. Because we know that up to 60% of the aid that is entering Gaza is being hijacked by Hamas. And the videos of Hamas gunmen on top of aid trucks in Gaza have been widely circulating online. Everyone in Gaza knows it. That's why you see civilians trying to loot aid trucks, because they know Hamas is going to steal the aid. And the agencies that are supposed to look out for them are doing nothing about it. And we think it's really heartbreaking that as we are going after the monsters who perpetrated the October 7 massacre, civilians in Gaza have been abandoned to aid agencies that are complicit with Hamas. We think they should get the aid they need without Hamas being able to steal it. And that's why it's time to dismantle UNRWA, to stop funding it, not only because it covers up for terrorists, not only because it indoctrinates Palestinian children, but because it is turning a blind eye to Hamas stealing aid. And there are other UN agencies in the world that distribute aid. It's not like UNRWA is distributing aid in the Congo and every other disaster zone in the world. The UN knows how to distribute aid. UNICEF, World Food Programme, etc., etc. It's time to activate them in Gaza and ditch the aid organization, the organization that is a front for Hamas and has literally been covering up for Hamas, literally as in its headquarters are literally 20 meters above the nerve center of Hamas's intelligence facilities and the server farm that it kept underneath UNRWA's headquarters, leaching electricity from UNRWA's headquarters, using the money that it received from well-meaning governments that think that they're supporting humanitarian causes when they're simply sending electricity straight into the intelligence infrastructure that perpetrated the October 7 massacre.